Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Trailmakers, and today I'm going to be attempting to build a hovering walker that walks on water. Is it going to work as intended? I don't know. Am I going to try? Yes, I am, because that's the kind of stuff we do on this channel, which is why you should totally subscribe right now, so that way I can continue to do this stuff, but with more subscribers. Okay, so how is this supposed to work? How is a hover walker supposed to walk in the first place? And then how is it supposed to walk on water? Because there's a couple of problems with this that you may have already been thinking about. And don't worry, I've thought about these problems too, and I've worked them out in my head, and I have the perfect solution that works in my head, but reality is often disappointing, as a wise man once said. So let me bring out a hovering vehicle for you all, just to demonstrate here. Okay, so the first issue with a hovering walker is hoverpads don't have any friction. So walking usually requires some level of friction. If you're gonna take one step, you need that step to kind of stay in contact with the ground in order to move forward on your next step. Otherwise, you're gonna be kind of moonwalking in place. So that's the first problem that I have to overcome. The second problem that I have to overcome is you can only hover on water if you're going above a certain speed. I remember I tested what the speed was once upon a time. I think it's like 35 or something, 35 kilometers an hour. But if you fall below 35 kilometers an hour, you just sink. Here we go. We're going down 37, 36, 35, 34, 30. Okay, maybe it's 30. 30, there we go. So if you don't have any speed, you can't stay afloat. And if you don't have any friction, you can't walk. Now that seems to be a big problem for a walker, since they tend to be really slow and they need friction. So how am I going to overcome these problems, you might ask? Well, if you've been following my Trailmakers content for a while, some of you may know that I've tested some things with hover pads in the sinking, and it is possible to create a vehicle that doesn't need to go 30 kilometers an hour in order to float on top of the water. And the way you do that is you make hover pads that spin around. So there's one problem solved. But how are we going to solve the low friction problem, you may ask? Well, let's cross that bridge when we get there. First, let's build a walker. So I'm going to build a simple four-legged circular motion walker, because that's kind of the easiest thing to do, rather than programming like a multi-jointed leg that bends and does the walking motion and all that. I have no idea what this is going to look like yet. I think we're going to make it relatively basic and just create a basic frame at first. Maybe I'll add some aesthetic parts later, but let's just create the basic walking mechanics and make sure that we get it working right, and then we'll worry about the cool stuff. So I don't want it to be super small, because if it's super small, it takes smaller steps. If we make it a little bit longer, we can have a bigger step radius of the stepping motion. I like to use the most technical language on this channel, because I know I have the smartest subscribers on the platform. Okay, so now, to create a walker, we got to use the rotating servos. I think these are the best ones to use. There are a couple of things that create circular motion, but rotating servos are one of them. So we have to make sure that we have this going 360 degrees, and I think hold position is the appropriate checkbox to check here to make sure that it just will go continuously and stop when we stop. So now we gotta make sure that all the legs are opposite each other in the rotation pattern when we start, because that's just gonna make it easier to program so that all the legs are kind of working together. And then we gotta add the second rotation point to ensure that the feet of our legs, which are gonna be the really important part where our hover pads are gonna be, these are gonna have to stay horizontal to the water. Now here's where stuff is going to actually get kind of difficult, because I need to build a foot that is 2 hover pads at least wide with a spinning servo in between them. So when these things rotate around, I have to make sure that those feet aren't gonna collide with anything. Ooh, they might collide with each other if I do it this way. You know, we're gonna have to make ourselves a little bit longer here. Okay, so I think I have this in a stage that is maybe functional. I don't know. Oh, it rotates. Oh, I'm gonna have to put turning on this thing too. That's not gonna be a problem though. All right, so let's see if the walking. Oh no. This is not working as intended. What is happening? What did I do wrong? Oh, I know what I did wrong. Hold on. Well, first of all, the speeds are way too high. Let's go with 0.5, half speed. And second of all, I forgot to set these second sets of servos. I didn't put the settings on to 360 or hold position. So now this. Oh, I didn't set those to 0.5 either, did I? Also got to set the speed the same. Okay, so now we should have something that more resembles a functional walking craft. Okay. It walked? What? This isn't supposed to work in its current form, by the way. Oh, that's great. When we spawn it in on the water, it doesn't stay above the water. No, okay. You gotta stay. You're supposed to stay above the water. Well, that just defeats all the purpose, doesn't it? If the legs don't spawn above the water, it can't float. My idea was to design this thing so it only works on the water. All right. Well, we're gonna have to. Things aren't gonna work quite as expected. You know, just for the sake of my sanity here, I'm gonna add some steering underneath it, because that's what needs to happen right now. All right, now we got some steering on this thing, so that's a bonus. So let's see. What I'm really surprised about this is it actually kind of really gets going when you try to walk on the land. This is not at all how it's supposed to be functioning. But, oh, this is bad. You know what? I think I may have made this joint in particular a little bit too long, so I'm just gonna shorten it. I was hoping to take bigger steps, and bigger steps would get me farther, but I think bigger steps are just making me fall over. So let's see if this is any more tolerable. Okay, see? Yeah, that's a little bit more tolerable. Look at that. And for somehow we go forward, even though I think it's the angles that happen in the hover pads. This is a lot more rocky than I thought it was going to be. I thought the hover pads were going to make this a bit smoother of a ride, but as you can see, not quite. All right, so now it's kind of pointless to have these legs so long, so we could just go ahead and move these up. All right, and we're slowly getting ourselves to a tolerable walking mechanism. I just had big dreams out at the start there, but of course, reality has crushed those dreams, and now we're settling for less. But it's okay. It doesn't have to work great. It just has to work. Now maybe. Yes, we can spawn in the water now. What is happening? Okay, no, we're good now. We're good now. Why is the front of my vehicle separate from the rest of it? Why is that? Those should be attached up in the front there. That's not supposed to be like that. Okay. So unexpectedly, this is a really bouncy walking mechanism. It's already working, and it wasn't supposed to be working yet. It was supposed to walk in place because the hover pads don't have any friction, but somehow it goes in the direction that I face. That actually seems to work for whatever reason. It has a weird, limp to it. Like, it always leans back to the back right corner every single time. It's got, a swagger. But it's consistent, at least. Isn't that a thing? Isn't that nice? Okay, this thing, we can change the shape of this now. This thing does not need to be this long anymore. I honestly think the length was helping it not flip over from the torque of the walking. Let's see how the shorter version... Oh, what happened? What happened? Did I delete something wrong? What did I do? Okay, let's go back. What did I do? Hold on. Wait, what's wrong? What's wrong? What did I do to you? I don't understand. I made it slightly shorter, and now it's... What is it? What did it... Are they hitting each other? They shouldn't be hitting each other. Look, there's like a 4-block gap in between. What did I do? It just falls apart every single time I repair it. All because I made it shorter? I'm gonna make it slightly longer again. If this fixes it, I'm not gonna understand what's happening. What? What? Why? Why is that a thing? You know what? I'm gonna make a 6-legged walker. I'm gonna go with 6 legs. 4 seems like it's not working out too well for us. So I'm gonna bring these in a little bit. I have a feeling I'm gonna regret this. Copy all of this up to the front here. I'm hoping that merely copying and pasting is all I really need to do. I think the controls should still work, but Trailmakers will tell me if I'm wrong very soon. All right, here it goes. Please be stable. Oh no. Oh no, why? Why is... There's something wrong with this middle section. I'm just gonna move this back. And I'm gonna move this one back. And we're gonna see if that makes it... Why did that just make a difference? That just made all the difference. I forgot to set up the sensor to these front ones. Okay, well, it's a little floppy in the middle, but it kind of still works. Oh, this is so weird. Why are they floppy up there? You know what? I think I need to make this out of fewer parts. There we go, fewer parts. It's still not perfect, but I think it's smoother. It's got less of a swagger, which means more stability. So let's see what happens if I walk off into the water. We're probably just gonna nosedive and it's not gonna work at all. But you know what? You never know. You never know what happens. Yep, that's kind of what I thought would happen. All right, good. We're on the water. All right, now let's see what happens if I try to walk forward. It somehow works. I don't exactly know how, but it somehow works. We don't have the problem of the no friction happening. Oh, what? Why is this? Excuse me? Okay, so you're probably wondering what was my idea to try to get rid of the friction thing, and I still want to see what happens now when I do it. So my idea was I was actually gonna put fins underneath the feet. So the fins would go into the water for every step, and then it would kind of drag the water as it stepped. So it would be kind of swimming, but on the surface, it would be walking on water. So I still want to try that and see what it does. I have a feeling now, based off of what I've seen so far, that this is just going to ruin everything. But the best way to find out is to try. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick these underneath all of the feet. And then we're gonna see what kind of nightmare mistake this results in. All right, okay, oh no, oh, we fly now. We fly now. That's what happens, is we become a flyer. Okay, whoa, actually, when I start walking, this starts to look like what I planned on happening. This ain't so bad. It kind of drifts for some reason, but I have an idea for that. I don't know if this is gonna be a mistake or not, but if we put directional fins pointing in the direction that we're supposed to be walking, these just might give us enough drag to kind of give us a stable direction. So let's see how that affects things. All right, they don't actually hit the water. Like, we're too high above the water. Oh, I can adjust the strength. I forgot. I can adjust the strength of these things. We can put ourselves closer to the water. And I think it has the side effect of being stronger as well. Wait, what's the low? I'm just gonna go to lowest distance. Looks like 0.5 is the lowest distance. So we're gonna go at 0.5. There we go. That's not so bad. Oh yeah, check that out. Now they go way into the water. How's our strafing going? Are we more straight? Oh, that looks so weird from behind. They look so, like, off-centered. This is... Whoa, this actually feels really good. Like, the turning especially now feels really legit. All right, let's bump up the speed of these servos and see if we can get ourselves walking faster without dying. Okay, what do you guys think for speed? We're at 0.5. Let's just go to 0.8. We're gonna bump it up a little bit more. All right, I'm so glad we can just repair in the water and it works. All right, here we go. Check this out. It seems to go a little bit. I didn't look at the speed. All right, we're maxing out at like 14. I'm seeing flashes of 14 kilometers an hour in there, but I feel like we can go even faster. Let's bump it up to 1.2. All right, 1.2. This might be a little bit too much now. Oh, come on, get on top of the water. There we go. All right. Oh, actually, 16, I'm seeing 16. We are successfully increasing our speed here. This is actually going pretty well. Okay, so now what I want to do, I can make this thing look a lot better, and I think it'll also make it a lot more stable because I'll be using less parts, and I might want to put some weight distribution in here as well. So I'm gonna delete almost all of this, and I'm gonna create a cool looking frame to kind of go out to all the legs. It's gonna look more bug or spider-like, I believe, but I think it'll be pretty cool. So I'll see you on the flip side of that. Okay, welcome to the new redesign of the hoverpad water walker 1.0. I don't know. I don't know. So I colored it this color. It's like a purple pink kind of combination because when I looked at it after I redesigned it, it kind of reminds me of like a kraken, squid, octopus style thing. And I felt like purple and pink were colors that better represented like octopus and tentacles and stuff. And they also contrast with the ocean pretty nice. So I really like the design of it. I think it looks pretty cool. And it's not the fastest walker. I could definitely make it faster if I put thrusters on it or something, but I think that'd be cheating for a walker. So yeah, this was the idea that I had envisioned in my head, and reality was only slightly disappointing this time. It works kind of. I think the fins are ironically hindering us instead of helping us. I think they're actually giving us a more stable speed rather than giving us speed like I thought they were going to do. Because without them, I was just like shooting across the water for some reason. But now I think they're actually preventing that from happening. But I think they're also kind of doing their purpose of dragging the water underneath us. Now, the weird thing about it though, is when I stop walking, I tend to float. And I think that's just the hover pads pushing against those fins as they spin. And I don't really think there's anything I can do about that. I've actually added 100 kilograms worth of weight underneath. So that really doesn't seem to be making a difference, but as long as you keep walking, you're good. Okay, so we have a functional version that works as intended. So I think there's only one place to go from here, and that is to start bumping up all of the settings to max and see how fast we can get this thing to go and what kind of destruction that's gonna result in. I think the obvious thing is that the torque is probably gonna flip us backwards, but that remains to be seen. We have to try it first, so here we go. So the current speed is 1.2 for the walking. So if we go all the way up to, two is the max. I thought it was gonna go up to 10. This is not nearly as exciting as I thought it was going to be. Well, if you thought 1.2 was fast, well, just wait till you see 2. It's so bad. It's worse. It goes slower. Our max, I'm seeing 11, 12, whereas like 16 was the max before. Why is it so much worse? I think it's because the back legs don't go out of the water, so I think they're hurting us. So if faster goes slower, that means there must be a sweet spot that is actually the fastest. So I think 16 was the highest we got to with 1.2. Let's see what 1.4 gets us. I'm seeing flashes of 14. 1.4 is worse. I'm gonna go to 1.1. All right, here's 1.1, 15. I'm seeing, 16. I saw a flash of 16. So yeah, I think 1.1, 1.2 is the best that it can do. All right, so I think there's one final test to put this thing through, and that is, of course, the land test. I built this thing to be exclusively a water walker, but I kind of have to know what happens if we try to walk on land. Whoa. Okay, hold on. No, wait, is this gonna actually work? This is so weird. This, like, it brings a whole new perspective to it. It looks like some crazy futuristic thing now that's like trying to be a unique idea on land, but really there's nothing useful about it. I like it though, it looks cool. And it works. It goes in the direction that I want it to go. And what about backwards? If I go backwards, oh, that's an interesting effect, isn't it? Oh, no, there we go. Now we're going backwards. No, we're not. We're just kind of going in place. Oh, here we go. Now we're going a lot faster. It works better when you turn the legs off. All right, we need to get this thing back in the water where it belongs. It's a squidtopus water walker. All right, here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes. That's not very effective, is it? Well, there you have it. It's a thing that walks on water. I saw some people asking for this in the comments for a while now, and this is the idea that I came up with. It does this when you just let it stand still. So is it a success? Is it a failure? It doesn't work great, but at least it works, so I think that is a success on the ScrapMan channel. So leave a like for the Octosquid Water Walker, or whatever you want to call it, and let me know what you want to see in future Trailmakers videos, because this was a comment-inspired video as well. And if you miss past ridiculousness on the channel, then you're going to want to check out this playlist right here, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future ridiculousness on the channel. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.